Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? Here at my home office. I want to talk to you today about being a dreamer. You know, as I sludge through the process of getting a book published, which takes longer than I thought, I have other, it's like a lot of stuff is coming up for me, stuff I forgot about. When I was I think sophomore in high school, I had a PE teacher. Now, as I said, I'm from a very small town. So we had the same teacher probably from kindergarten all the way in up, but for high school, we had the same PE teacher from 9th to 12th. She was not a fan of mine. She really thought I should be an athlete. My sister was a point guard, star point guard. She was very athletic. I can hold my own in athletics. I'm a great racquetball player. Well, I haven't played in years. Tennis, golf, but basketball, that kind of stuff. I was very good at volleyball, but they didn't recognize volleyball for women back then. So basketball just wasn't my jam. Just saw no point of running up and down the court. So she always was like, well, you should because you seem to be good at it. Well, I don't want to do it. So I got in trouble one day at school, as I always did. And she was in the principal's office. And I'll never forget her looking at me. And she's like, you know what your problem is? You're a dreamer. Dreamers don't get anywhere in this world. And until you realize that and quit sitting around and dreaming all day, you'll never get anywhere. And I looked at her and I thought, man, that hurts. That is wrong. And as I got older, I realized I was dreaming. Absolutely. I'm a big daydreamer. I'm a big dreamer. But I was planning. You can't execute before you plan. You have to have a plan. And my plan was how the hell to get out of that town. I knew my parents weren't going to pay for school. I didn't get good grades. I got very bad grades. So I knew I had to figure out how to get out of that town. I graduated at 17. I went to the military recruiter, talked to the Air Force guy, wanted to join. He says, well, you're 17. You have to have your parents sign. I went home and said, will you guys sign for this? Absolutely not. You are born to be a secretary. Okay. Let me think about that. Let me take that under advisement. 4 months later, I turned 18, went back to the military, signed the papers myself, came home and said, join in the military. I was planning. It is great to be a doer. Be a dreamer. Dream big. Dream as big as you can. But you got a plan to get there. And if your path isn't there, innovate. Develop your own path. Every step of the way in my career, I have dreamt, how do I get to that next level? And you've got to have a plan and then execute. So if you're a dreamer, that's okay. But if you're not planning and executing, then you need to rethink it. Because you've got to plan and execute. You've got to think, this is what I want to do. I want to be a published author. I want to travel the world and do presentations. And I want to help 1 million women heal the thing that they have burning within them and find their why so they can become the woman they want to be. That is my goal. So that's a huge, big-ass goal. So I have to plan. And unfortunately for somebody like me that always has big plans, the steps can be, small, slow steps. I thought as soon as I finished my book, poof, it'd be proofed and published and ready to go. Not so much. So you have to have patience. But if you're young, if you're in your 20s and 30s and you're listening to this and people tell you to quit being a dreamer, never stop. Never ever stop. I dream so much, and I think Crystal's on. I have my glasses on. I think she's on here. I will get into such a deep thought of dreaming, I will run into walls. I will go to the wrong place for an appointment because I'll forget where I was going. So it consumes me because I know that dreamers rule the world. We would never have Siri without dreams. We would never have Google without dreams. We would never have anything that we have without dreams. Look around at your life. Everything you have was a dream by somebody. I was listening to somebody yesterday talking about how this guy kept seeing, and I'll talk about morning rituals another day, but he kept seeing when he would sit down. Every morning I sit down and just kind of meditate and ponder. He would see numbers. So after he finished meditating, he'd write down the numbers. And he'd see more numbers, and as soon as he finished meditating, he'd write down the numbers. And then, hey Brad, hey Steph, how you doing? Good to see you. I do have my glasses on. And so after a while, he took all these numbers to this mathematician and said, what the hell is this? And the mathematician looked at him and he said, well, let me draw it out. It was the crossbow that we now have. Well, back 1800, they really needed a crossbow. It was a crossbow, and it just came to him. So things just pop into your head. Write it down. I have things popping into my head all the time, and I'll call somebody. You know, I had a meeting with somebody 2 weeks ago about one of their products. It blew me away. I said, you're almost there. And she's like, well, what's missing? I said, I don't know. I'll have to think about it. About a week goes by, and boom, it pops into my head. I call her up and said, this is what you need. Do this. She's like, oh my God, you're right. When you meditate, things pop into your head. When you're walking, when you're just sitting around, things will pop into your head. Those are messages from the universe. And when you're a dreamer, you're listening to those messages. You're locked in. Because, you know, some are just crap. You know, some are just really. That's the message. And others are like, holy crap. When I was writing this book, it was like, holy crap. You're right. My ending isn't what I want it to be. I need to move it here. So be a dreamer, but also do and plan. Think of what you want to accomplish and go after it. You know, I want, next year in July, I'm going to spend a month in Laguna Beach. I'm going to rent a house. I already have a deposit down on a house that I really like to rent this house. Because that's what I want to do. I've dreamt about it forever, but I've planned it. I've planned, okay, well, if I make this kind of money, I can stay at this house. If I stay at this make this kind of money, I can stay at that house. And I have all the houses. And it's like, okay, this is the one I really want. Now, will I be able to achieve that one my first year out? I don't know, because it's, you know, right on the beach. It's really expensive. But that's my overarching goal. Now, sometimes you have to back off. Because dreamers sometimes forget things take time. Because we're so busy, we see it. So if you're a dreamer, don't forget to dream, do, execute. Thanks a lot, you guys. Have a great day. It's Wednesday. It's beautiful weather outside in Arizona. A little humid for us, but we'll get used to it. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.